We are live.
How y'all doing right there? Let me tell you something. Today, we're gonna be playing a game called Within the Ring of Fire. Now, you might be asking yourself down there in your house or on your porch, or maybe in the bathroom. I don't judge. One of the things I want to tell you right now is that Within the Ring of Fire is called a role-playing game. Now, that might also bring up some questions and concerns, but don't worry. Role-playing is a very fun activity you can do with your friends and family. You see, what we do here is we pretend that we are other things in another time and age. In this case, within the setting of Kavega Thale. It's a flat land with two moons that are the eyes of a hateful god. Yes, and it plans on destroying us all. That's okay, because we are here, these mortals, the mortals that span across Kavega Thale. And you see, there's all kinds of different struggles to be had, factions and peoples and places and races and all kinds of faces. Faces to be smashed, faces to be wheeled and dealed, faces to have as friends, as you. You are a catalyst, an ember in the night that sparks the fires of imagination. And we have here Mia, our flame tender, and she will be stoking the fire, those flames of imagination, and allowing us to explore those wonderful adventures. If you want to have more of these adventures yourself and find yourself interested and pulled into the flames that are Kavega Thale, I suggest you to hop on their technology and head on to that book face at www.facebook.com/raw immersive games. Talk to the one and only, your main man. He's on there. He's the creator of the game. In fact, he's right here. You'll see him with Eros Adonis. That's right, the Mihon Gi, the man with the plan. And then over here we have Trevor, who's playing Kiro the Lie. That's right. And then we also have Apatax, the one who judges, that orc with the most. And then we have me. You see what I'm playing here? I'm playing the meanest damn ogre you'll ever see. But what's meaner than that is his minstrel playing. That's right. So come, join us. Play, listen, and roll in the highest adventures that will soon befuddle your very mind.
Thank you for that. And we start in what is the remainder of Flame Dance, and well, the day after. This is the day of numbers, as you know. And your hunt has provided me for many mouths, but the forest is still out there waiting for you. The fields have sprouted, but nothing is ready. The apple trees, once holding the lanterns lighting the streets, are black and burnt shadows of their former self, but a few of them seem to have come to life every so often. The keepers of universal laws are in the streets in their toga-like dresses and perfectly carved clubs. Many of the fugitive tents are being moved to the outer perimeter of the Orcish community outside the wall, but many still live side by side in the houses of one family. With the temple of Nefraxu and the shrine to the 44 towering over small houses. But yeah, and over the milling people in the morning light. With the many open kitchens and sending steam and smoke to Igvale, but we are below all this. Even in this morning, we start onto the street in the Orcish community with appetites, making ready for your travels, for your hunt. In your chamber, we go to you. If you, get ready.
So I'm there, down in the very dimly lit interior, surrounded by rock and roots that intertwine and then weave around the rocks. Bit of dirt between the stones of this subterranean lair. There's a stone bed, some fabrics on the far end of the interior place where this orc sleeps. Seeing almost in a bit of a montage, I put on a robe about myself, a second robe. I've always, since that event, had to wear a second robe, and I shiver slightly when I sort of when it was off, and I sort of pull the rope close around my form a bit more as I grab a simple sort of hemp bag, I throw it over my shoulder, sort of over my head, and so it kind of goes across my chest like this, and resting on my left hip is that bag. And as I open up the leather strap to the bag, I'm placing in these tools, medical supplies, most importantly, wrappings, very neatly rolled, and several other smaller bits, tools wrapped in lambskin. And I also pause as I put the last thing in my small pouch. I pause and I look at that book, that open book that's held on these iron, uh, holding the book open on these iron holders. I see the chapter that it's on. I pause, my little beady eyes in that dimly lit interior with only a few candles lit. I know that passage so well. And then I turn and I leave, ascending up. I squint my eyes as I leave that tower, that great tree.
Before you leave the tower, you startle Master Laro as he looks up. Again, you can see the small shrine in here now with the newly detached heads standing by its sides. Assortment of precisely 8 candles there. He's looking up from a letter he's writing. He still has the coal in his hand and he's looking up at you. You can see anger, but not towards you. His lips is slightly pulled up. He looks at you.
I look down at him and I see the shrine he makes, and I just give a nod of almost approving of what he has done. I have found the location.
You found it? Which location? He
The
looks up.
ones who have taken the 19 lives. I am going on a hunt. When I return, I'll bring them here.
Not
By
so.
your judgment, they will be cast in whatever fate you deem, Master.
He rises up. Yes. I wish you luck, and he walks over to the slab. There is no orc on the galley body laying there, only a silver knife. He looks at it for a moment. I have other things to attend to. All the bodies from the visit, the holy troll, all who wasn't recognizable have been left. And I fear that our city may become a beacon for angels to gather souls. But the ones who are there will not let me take care of it. So yeah, and he like rolls up the letter. I have.
You think they're to be angels?
Do not know. It's the worst possible situation.
Hmm.
It's good you are away of what you carry. And there's like you can see the hair and the pelt on his arms is still like standing up, being near to you, near to that cold of the 5 cold spectres close to you. Just can feel them there, holding on to you. He looks up at you. When will you be back? Is there anything I can help with?
I will need. You have given me much, Master. I wish to do this on my own.
You are very independent, and that is a joy. And he like hands you the knife. I'm puzzled, but I believe a ghost is bound to this. Not. I do not know if it's not sentient.
Do you know of its name?
No. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the Hippen? All too well. She said it was a gift from my daughter.
I see. It will be safe.
Not good.
I slowly begin to turn away from him. Lumber on out. Without saying goodbye.
And as you ascend, we go to the others, as the others are standing over a stew pot of Urkel. And the smell of spices and roots and rich meat fills your nostrils as the warm soup goes down your gullet. Our master have just risen over the tree line, and this morning golden light are filling into the streets. And you can see orcs are moving the tents outside of the orcish community, helping the other fugitive. And yeah, you can see like a satyr fluting on his Bacchus flute as the Ducat is dancing with some smaller children. Satyr, Ducat, and an orc. Smiles on their faces, but you can see an orc female looking at them, pouting so much that her teeth is nearly not visible. Is staring and waiting for that Ducat to do anything. Her hand is around her club, and hatred is just looming over her as she watches this light and innocent scene. But yeah, you can take it away as you stand there.
Arkova will be playing as jolly tunes as people fill their bellies upon the bounty that we have brought forth. And he will stand and watch, taking in the smells, enjoying them as they are, as he plays and moves about.
You can see that the satyr is like just when he's playing his Bacchus flute and like moving up to you, so you can like coordinate a bit. He has like a big smile on his face and like brown hair, just all messy, and he has like a belt pouch on the front, but that's like all he's wearing. And then he's just moving up to you, like smiling and then just playing.
Oh, and as he does, so do I too begin to smile broadly, his teeth, and begins to play some more.
Yes. Now look here, and I gesture around. You can see the resilience of Flame Dance. Just before, these people were burning down their own homes in order to kill the locusts that were devouring them and their people. But now we do the devouring, and I take a big bite of the soup with the meat that we have brought back. Yes, the resilience of Flame Dance, a place unlike any other. Why, all these people have come together, be they upstanding citizens, and I look high up towards Arkova, or even the filthiest of mongrels, and I look towards that satyr on his pipe. Yes, we all can come here and share a bowl or break bread together. Fascinating.
Yes, let us break bread, let us eat, let us dance. Ho ho ho! He begins to play even more. Begins to move, put on a few little dance moves as he moves about, and as he does, showing off his form, letting that red skin glisten in the firelight of the cooking broth.
You can see the dancing Dukutzil is like discarding the children a bit and like going over to dance with you. But that's just you can see. So it's good. But yeah, and you can feel this warm breeze filling you. But then, Kuro, you feel like a big hand on your shoulder. Urkel. Did you take something in the night? There's missing something. Hi. It's fine, but it would be nice to know.
I assure you, I took nothing myself, but what has been taken? There are many sticky hands about after such a disaster. Not everyone has such community pride, such as I, and they will seek a time like this to prey upon their fellow men and women. It's a foul thing to do.
Nuts. I have what I have here. And he like points to the big soup. It's still like a big soup of several gallons. But he like looking down at it. It was carved off the bones. He looks down at the big thigh bones sticking up.
Oh, some of the bones stolen. Huh? Well, that's strange. That would not point the finger towards the satyrs, who are often the ones that you would assume to be absconding with your hard-earned accoutrements, and it would also rule out the Ducksit. And I look to the dancing one. Nod. Yes, they would not be making away with such things either. If you had leaves and bark and roots stolen, then perhaps it'd be them. But Now what undesirable types gnaw upon bones as a rough beast would? And and I looked at like some humans or some fair. I'm like,
And he looks just to you three, just looking at you three like, well, it's yeah. I will. There will be more. He looks down a bit.
I'm going to glance back and forth and watch the interaction. Oh, I'm sorry, I think you're done talking.
It's fine.
Oh, all I was saying is I was watching their interaction between each other. Please continue.
He just gives you a glance and but it's of course too long, and then he gets and then you can see some small children in like the 7-year age coming up to you. You're the flame dancer, and like looking at you, like expecting you to dance. Just with
What sort of children are these filthy creatures?
oh, they are satyrs, and there's an orc, and there's a Dukutsit, like a female Dukutsit.
I just look down at the children. I smile, not really my mouth too wide. Yes, it is. Just try him, the flame dancer. When I take a little bit of flames and roll it around between my fingers, up and down, around my wrist, changing the hue of color from blue to bright orange and changing the intensity and the heat to a burning red. Yes, I'm certainly the flame dancer. Your children, I'm sure, have heard many tales of me, and hopefully for all your days you shall remember such stories and spread them to all that you see, for you, I kind of tapped the Dickensick girl right on her nose, have seen something spectacular. My dear, and I rub her head, and I turn to the other children and smile at them.
And they smile up at you just in just awe and just happiness beaming off of them. And the parents too. You can see the resemblings. You can see her scruffy brown hair, and the satyr's scruffy brown hair. They just smiling up at you.
Oh, look, it's always very quick to enjoy anyone who will give me the proper credentials and kudos I deserve. So I hold no grudge against them for good taste. I
Yeah.
I look over to their parents and sort of smile at them, try not to be intimidating, just seeming not necessarily approachable, but just like there's just amazing celebrity in their midst that they should venerate. It's only right that they do so.
Yeah. You can see them just looking at them, running away, playing, dancing around on Krova again, as you, Abhitaxa, are moving up to this strange interaction. Oh, there's an old child there, but, you know, maybe one of the odd ones. You can see as you're walking through the street that many orcs are preparing for the celebration to Nefraxu. You can see there is like they have been cleaning up. You can see them bearing like wooden pillars into the little square in front of the shrine to the 44. You can see them just preparing, building some sort of podium, maybe.
Oh, you know I ain't walking no more. I got wheels. I'm up on my wagon. My Optalang. And you all hear them wheels, them rickety wheels, turning. And you see me, Apatox, with my hood low, making my way towards where your pot of soup, where you all are hanging out.
As you roll up upon us, Arkova turns, hearing those fateful wheels and seeing your visage. He spins a little poem of you. Apatax, who rolls in through the night, patching us up all the night so we can fight another day. You know, it goes on like that.
I quiver slightly at the loudness of your voice. Become somewhat resentful of the fact that you're giving attention to him and honor to him where it clearly belongs to me.
And I pull up, that the Optalang kind of gives this sort of deep hissing sound as it laps its tongue out, and I get off the wagon and I have decided to come with you three on this hunt. I have brought supplies. I have brought equipment to better aid you in your search. I will try to be least hindrance of your tracking I like look at Arkova when I say that, and then I like look at you three expectantly.
The tunes begin to die down as he walks over and pats you on the back, smiles broadly to you. Ho ho ho! Good upon you, Epitax. You'll be welcomed. As I'm sure the rest of us are happy to have you in our company as we go forth into those forests. And he turns and looks to everyone else. Yes, we will go out there upon those woods. We will find those that have brought tragedy, and we will put them to the ground. And when he says that he has his fist up in the air, he just like slowly crumples it, as if squeezing fate itself.
Yes. Well then.
Yes, may the wagon there be filled with looted plunder and spoils of war, and perhaps the kukris of our enemies as proof that we have slain them. Yes, and saved this town. Yes, a wagon of heroes, they'll call it. And I start petting the wagon instead of petting the Optilangs.
Then you will have me. This is good. When is
You
it?
see the children like moving away from you. See, like one of them like shiver a bit.
I pay them no mind. I continue looking at, when is it that you plan on beginning? It is early this day. Do you plan on beginning when there is no light in the sky?
If we're all voicing our opinions, then let me cast my voice towards approaching under the cover of darkness. I do not believe, yes, I do not believe that the Duxit have a preternatural ability to see in the natural way of darkness. No, they are more attuned to the light, despite living in burrows on occasion.
I just turn to the others, just like, what do you think?
Arkova will gaze upon you, and taking in Kuro's words, he nods. Lo there, that would be a most astute strategy. Though I share no preference for when we go. It doesn't matter when or where. My fist will fall upon them like the fire to the wood.
But will you be able to find the tracks, Arkova?
Fate will see me to it.
It does not matter. I shall find them. I shall find the tracks. I agree with Quero. It is best that we be under cover of night. After all, three of us are creatures of night. And
I turn to your rose.
This is barely letting my horrible fangs, beautiful as they are, be seen.
But we have still much time until then. Should we not venture at the edge? Find a site of which to make a camp.
Yes, I suppose we could set out soon and have ourselves a camp, a lookout point with which to spy upon them and their activities. But before then,
that is where I will be.
Apatax, before then, have you had a bowl? Have you had some of the spoils of our victory over the wild lands? You need to avail yourself, keep up your strength, and I feel Apatax's arm. He's an orc, he's a large fellow.
I look at the pot.
You can see like thigh bones like sticking up, and you can see like tendrils is just floating with like what looks like ginger roots in the top of it. It's not cut or anything. They're just floating. You can see this thick soup, and you can you can't, but you can just see that there's like it's very thick, and there's like a lot of little leaves in it, like spices and other stuff. But yeah,
I can see that you take much pride in what you have made here, Kuro.
Yes,
It is
what I
yours.
made.
I will not take it from you. I have my own.
But the tendons, when they've been boiled for so long, they have a chewy texture you'll find nowhere else in the whole world. And I take one of those tendons, probably from the leg, sort of gnawing on it.
I just look at you and I give that low grunt, sort of.
Oh yes, you should have a piece. Delicious. Yeah, he like grabs just a little bit. He's like chewing it vigorously in his mouth.
You three will be the ones hunting. You will need it. I thank you for the offer.
Yes.
Well, yes. There you go, then. Let it not be said that Kuro was not the generous soul.
Kuro the most generous. Kuro the cunning. Ho ho. Strings
My white foxtail is wagging.
And with Eros upon our
Urkel
side, the flame dancer himself, surely there'll be victory aside. Ha ha ha.
you just see Urkel just giving you like a small smile to you, Kuro. Like, and he's like in the other side of the pot, like scooping up to others with their balls, like they're going. But
Eros,
wow.
I believe it is best that you do not shine in the wood. If you can prevent that from occurring. I look at your body. A sort of cold, detached look. Not a look of lust or something you're used to. And I take his silence and I nod that. Like I give a nod and as if he said something. I just. Have any of you been in the wood before? For longer than a day?
I've had to camp out in many places, but as far as these parts are concerned, no. No, I have not.
Then allow me to lend my expertise, for before we met you two, and I gesture towards the ogre and the Mihungi, Apotex here and I, we had to spend a few nights out in them whispering woods, listen to the strange sounds that are out there, and the even stranger sights and the stranger smells when we found that befouled lake. Ugh, you remember back then? Yes, we had spent some time in the wilderness, living off the land. Harder folk are we. Yes. And I say that standing with my 115 pounds, like 5'6".
This is good that you retain your abilities as a guide, Kuro. I have not fared so well in that regard.
Yes, I was confused by that. I thought all orcs were wood wise and knew the ways of trails and hunting. But I suppose your time was spent learning books and letters and the ways of the body, how to repair it, and might I say, how to keep it from moving once again. And I look towards Apotax's seemingly weaponless form. I've seen you hold your own in battle with nothing but a piece of fruit in your hand. Yes, you sell yourself too short to say that you'll remain at the camp and simply provide stitches and salves and balms. No, Epitax, I think you will do quite well upon this hunt. You will lend arms to this fight, and your enemies will quake in fear.
Hmm.
And your ancestors will be avenged, my friend. Yes, yes. They shall hear the rage upon your voice, and so shall your enemies, and they shall quake and tremble, and we shall fall upon them. Ha ha ha.
Hmm. I thank you all for doing this. This means a lot to not only myself, but that of the orcs in this community.
Yes, most certainly.
I sort of look back over my shoulder, to the crowds of people in the ruined debris, and that great tree in the background, that wall. I turn back. After you have eaten your fill, let us find a good place to camp near the mm, edge of the wood for the night's hunt. Then I sit there and I take out a bag and just like an apple. I just start eating it as I wait. I calm the Optilang now and then as I'm sort of the Optilang's behind me. I'm just sort of sitting perhaps on a log or on a bench that Quirrell made as they finish their meal. And then when they're finished, I head on out.
So you're going to camp in the outskirts of the forest.
Yeah,
So
that's
you can go in.
yeah,
Well, safely.
like setting up a camp.
But
So not
you want-
maybe not we're not like I'm not talking. That's what I want to do. Like I don't. I'm trying to hide the fact that I don't want to go in there.
Yeah,
But
the forest is like half an hour from where you are.
yeah.
So-
So we're after the meal we'll go there and then set up camp. That's what I was saying. Set up camp there.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm just so you're like as close to the wood as you can be, like as far into the wood kind of hugs the city. So I would guess it would be like as far inside the hug you can be like.
Yeah, a couple trees, maybe like in some lightly forested area, not too deep in that the cart can't move that much, or that's where I'll park it.
Okay. There's a small stream there filled with salamanders that Akrova knows too well. From when you get there, you just see the spot in this quiet place. But yeah, you can see the burnt field just as far as the eye stretches, and some of the trees are burnt as well, black and miserable looking. Not really a forest right here on the edge, but
Okay.
but yeah, you can just see that, and out on the field you can see this barn standing there, not burned like the rest of the city, and you can see like the cityscape, the burnt building. You can see like one or two stone buildings still standing, temple of Sinner and of Morgul closer to this part of town is still standing. Yeah, you can hear the whispered sound coming from the forest, where even birds are quiet. But yeah, you set up camp there, and you can take it away for a while. And I would like you to Well, there's a lot of people working, still taking things out of the burnt building, trying to sort the wood from the stones. You can see there's like a lot of people, not close to you, but you can see people moving about, mostly Farum and orcs, and yeah, you can see satyrs moving on the burnt fields, possibly trying to fix it. Yeah,
Will this location suffice?
and by the way, the other three of you have been inside the forest to hunt. So, yeah. No, that's not really maybe that close to the city. Oh, no.
This seems like it will do. Yes. Yeah, I begin looking around. I'm looking for a good place to hide, good place to set up an ambush, places to double back around to. You know, my typical Kitsune guerrilla sort of mentality.
This is good. When it is night, I will be here. I will have 4 lights. That is where you will know where I am. I start taking out these long candlesticks.
Yes, 4 lights. That's a fine way to tell us about your presence and tell anyone else about it too. No, perhaps can you do a bird call or whistle?
I do not call the birds.
Mm.
And then, like when you start making that sound, I like lean in, like suddenly interested, like I like watch your lips.
And glance back and forth between the two of you.
What is this you do?
Yeah, it's just a whistle. To a casual listener, it may appear to just be the noise of a bird, but for us, if we have established a sound to listen for, then we'll know it's you. You just put your lips together and and I begin to look at his orcish mouth. It's like it's like teaching a walrus to whistle.
How about, and I like put the candles, back in the wagon, and I go into my robe and I take out this sheen. First, you see the sheen in the light, that silver sheen in the light of this dagger. This, I will use this, the moonlight, the shine of silver. It is sharp when it is dark.
And I look at that. Yes. Perhaps perhaps if someone else sees it, someone else besides us, they'll think it's just the glint of the moons over a pool of water. Yeah, this is a much safer option.
This is good.
Well, at least you, Eros, would remember that knife as the one who grievously wounded you by the hand of the claw of a hippon. But that's just a note. You see, it's quite distinguished. It has it's still sharp, but there's it has only one side of it's sharp. The other thing is just flat for like holding and pressing up against something that ever was needed. But that's just
This is good then. I had found this blade upon the rubble of the horrid event. My master had given it to me. I believe it to be a gift. I will use it to make the light.
Maybe perhaps I should stay here along with you.
No, you need to find them.
Hmm.
I will be still.
He kind of
Still
just
as I can.
he kind of gives you a long look over, and then nods his head.
But now that we have camp here, I will rest now. I suggest you do the same. Then I start, making my way to the cart where I take out some fabric, which I sort of wrap myself in, a third layer, and I waddle on over to like a moss-covered stone, nearby the water. I sort of situate myself.
You can see small salamanders like moving in the water as when you sit there. It's like there's like a wave, and they like move away from you on this.
I just lean my back sort of against that rock, and I sit down. I don't like just go to sleep like that, but like I just sit down and maybe I quietly look around into the surroundings, into this wood. And there's a part of me that feels connected back to something, but there's a bit almost a confused look that's upon my face as I just sort of look around, a bit of wonder. Until after maybe eating something, I'll finally, maybe about like an hour after I situate myself, I'll go to sleep, try to wake myself at night.
And what are you other guys doing as we are like speeding up time a bit?
Well, in the interim there, I'm probably engaging in a lot of different conversations with the others here a little with us, feeling quite in command as I have received such enormous affection and attention recently. That quite pleased me. I'll tell them stories and just generally, return my ideas of the epic events I've been through. I'm trying not to sound too braggadocious about it.
Arkova will listen in intently, and he'll start playing a very light tune, trying to accommodate the potent ears of Eros Adonis as much as he can. Though against his very nature he wishes to pluck those strings hard, he will pluck them gently as he can. Though there is an apprehension in his very brow that could be seen as he looks onward under those woods, he awaits what he feels in his soul is coming vengeance.
And for me, it is time to consult the strange whims of fate and time and destiny. As I listen to the music and I observe the natural world around me, the way that the leaves will wheel about on the wind, the way that I pick up a handful of sand and pour it into my other hand, the way it drips past my fingers, each one different and each one having a secret meaning that I can use to divine the future if only I can see the patterns in all of this. There on the tree is Cicada, and two of them over there, their wings fluttering, their whine piercing the night, adding yet another note to Arkova's song. What does it mean? I meditate upon this and try and figure out what is in store for me. How can I live correctly in this moment, to make this life a success, and this endeavor fruitful and bountiful. As I consider my options, for we are going into a possible den of death, and so while the others are seemingly merry, I am withdrawn, orcish in my ways, just observing the natural world and trying to suss out just what it has in store for me.
As you are looking to see, you're close up to the hazel bush. You're trying to conceal yourself, but with an ox sling and a cart and a playing acrobat, you know you're lost. You know you lost this battle, but you're like sitting close to this hazel bush, and you can see this praying mantis like crawling. It's like not that, but crawling with its like small filament moving upside to see from the top of this. You can see it.
Yes.
Like
A good sign.
And it
Mantis.
Then it looks just to the fields, and you can see like some farm hands are moving around there with their field, tending to the small like sprouts in the black soil, and it's just looking in that direction, just to the horizon. And then it like takes off and like flies. And it flies just a little circle and then inside the forest. And as soon as like inside the forest, you can just the small fluttering. It's very very quiet, and it's not a part of the song.
It seems a good sign. The mantis, I seem to recall in ancient times was equated with the guardian, but now it's a hunter like myself. Yes, it looked over towards those simple men, those simple farmers, the innocent folk, the ones who we purport to protect. Yes, and there they are, planting the sprouts of the future. Yes, Flame Dance grows even after it's burned. Yes, I do believe I'm on the right track here. I'm on the correct path. Yes, I've read the signs correctly. If I'm on the correct path, then none can stand against us. I'm now filled with the confidence of invincibility. Yes, I should not tell my companions, though. They may not share my invulnerable nature. Yes, I'd hate to give them false hope.
And you sit there for a while, and I would like to have you make perception rolls, I guess, and you will have +1, Trevor. That's just. And this is a site-based perception. And it's site-based. You just sit there enjoying the fine tunes of Akroma.
Is this just him or all of us?
Oh, this is all of you.
Okay.
As you're sitting there.
Alright.
He's
For the most part, like I've sort of fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Like, it's still daytime.
It's still daytime.
Yeah, it's so like I'm trying to sleep off the daylight kind of thing, and I'm not gonna even bother.
That's fine.
Rolling.
Okay. We have a
22.
22. Okay. And you?
I got a 14.
Okay. Okay. I guess. Well, as we are in the afternoon, you can see that. Well, afternoon to losing light. Yeah, the light is beginning to fall down, and you arrows have been seeing that there's like there's a lot of farmhands outside, even though the light is dying. You can see satyrs and single ogres moving about as the light is dying. Moving. Just they're rather close to your position. Yeah. But that's just a small note. And as you're looking inside, you can see that there's like a small glow inside the forest. And the others can see the glow as well. You just don't notice something, and you can just see the purples and red and oranges and blues filling the skies as the Lord of Dusk is showing his face. You can take it away. So.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part. I'm sick. I was coughing something up.
I was just commenting that the sun was going down and Luku is showing his face.
Oh, okay. I heard like Lord of something. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Lord of Dusk.
I thought it was Jack. All right.
Yeah. But you can just see you can see this Ogress. You believe you've seen her before, but that's you don't know.
The verse I saw before, is she the one that I got the focus from?
Yep. The 21. Yeah. You can see she's moving about there, out in the field.
I see where Quiro.
You can see.
I was just saying, I look over at Quiro and remember that one.
Arkova will look around. I wonder why there are so many out.
What do you think of this, Quiro? You know this place better than us.
Yes, this is an unusual event, though I'm not sure if it is something of to concern ourselves with or in a negative sense. It is perhaps the natural response of all those the locusts that attacked us before, and this may be the aftermath. This is something that happens after such a mass swarming. Now we see something such as this. I'm looking around trying to hide my confusion at what this might mean.
As you're looking over there, you can see like several of them like showing there. It's getting darker, and some of you have better light vision. But you can see that, like you can see that there some of them are like looking at you. Their faces turn towards you, and then they're like moving, working with the plants again. But I'm sure none of you have any farmers, so I guess they're just working with plants. They have like I don't know what that's called. I should have looked that up. But you can take it away if you want to go inside the forest or.
I remain very still.
Well then, Apatak, so you ready? Are you quite ready for us to head wood?
Sitting up against that stone, and my head is slightly down, my eyes are closed. I see some roots have sprouted from my fingers that are sort of fallen on my lap, a bit crossed over my lap. And there just isn't any response when you speak to me.
Well, my mind isn't that something then? Come along then, it is time for us to embrace destiny.
And with that, Arkova's playing comes to a subtle stop, though he's been playing lightly the entire time. Swivels his mandolin upon his back, Begins to rotate his shoulders a bit. Gives a little flex, a little tense up. A few stretchings here and there. Gets himself pumped and waits for you all to take the lead.
Yes, and I stand behind Arkova as if to say, like, all right, now you take the lead. You're
I'll
giant.
stand up and start walking in that direction, not being afraid. Come now, children. I smell the fear dancing on you like lice. You should not fear. The most horrifying creature in darkness does not wish to eat you. And I look at all of you and I show my fangs. And
Arkova,
a fairly bait. I walk quickly.
Arkova will stare back at you. This is not fear. I recognize you as the skilled one in these affairs. You can track better than I.
Yes,
But
and
what's
with your keen ears and eyes up front, I suppose my keen ears and eyes should be in the back to make sure nothing ambushes us. And that was my thinking.
Oh, yes, of course, Kuro. And whatever does come, he just flexes and like you hear bones crunching as he claps his fists together. There's a bit of a childlike glee in his countenance.
You'll have 2 foes in each hand in no time. Smash them together.
And that thought that Kuro planted in his mind now dances heavily as he begins to follow along.
And I remain asleep, well past when I was hoping to wake up.
I lean on fearlessly.
Actually,
So you're leaving the sleeping dog. Okay.
wait, as Arkova will.
Oh, I told you I was yelling at them, and I just started walking off.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're not following me. Why would I possibly ever look back to see they're not following me? That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Arkova's gonna look back, and he's gonna notice.
You can notice there's several torches coming closer.
Mm-hmm.
And pitchforks.
I'll just mention to Arkova, just pick him up, to Apatax. We'll just carry him with us.
And he'll just he'll strut himself right on over and just in one motion, like he's lifting up a large box.
Yes.
And then he just begins carrying him off.
You hear me sort of exhale a bit like.
He'll turn towards you, Kiro, as he walks on by with his new load. He's a sound sleeper, this one. And he pats you on the back, Apatax.
There's this weird, after a few steps walking with me on your shoulder, there's this other weird feeling you get that runs up. Imagine these several sort of tendrils that run up the side of your arm that's holding Apatax, as if another hand made of ice sort of touches, or just barely touches. This strange sort of breeze wafts over you.
He begins to quiver a little bit, as if something slimy had touched him. He makes these slight grunts.
Well, as you are moving, it's quite apparent that the torches and the pitchforks are not moving away from you. They're following you as you're walking. I would assume you would be looking, but they're still in the same distance away from you, as you are still in the area where the trees have been burned, and there's only hazel bushes and stuff. It's very not heavily forested. You can just see them some like a quarter of a mile behind you. You can just see this light moving after you. Yeah. You can take it away. It should be. You can just stay into. Yeah.
I'm certainly going to be watching the light and paying close attention to it.
What do you suppose that is? Why are they following?
I don't know. Considering that they are coming from Flame Dance as it appears, I do not suspect they'd be here to hinder us. What I think is they are some of the Force Watch. And they're either coming to aid us or they're coming to claim the glory. They're coming to claim the credit. It should be ours. Still, we are not enemies. We are simply competitors at this moment.
Kova gives a stiff nod as he kind of adjusts his shoulder with the newfound weight of Apatax. Every so often he'll do that. He'll have to adjust him, as Apatax is an orc and is quite hefty and dense in his nature, as is the way of orcs.
But I'm actually a little bit lighter than perhaps what you would expect. Oh, like we're a little less than 200 pounds.
This will probably add to his own confidence, thinking, "Oh, I'm much more stronger now."
But yeah, you are continuously being stalked by the lights, and they are gaining a little bit on you, but it's still quite apparent they're following you. And yeah, quite apparent. But you're moving between this large trunk tree. You can see that as you're moving, the big fruit called flame fruit, as you've been found out what they're called, are like down on the ground, and they're like singed and not as yellow anymore. There's like burn mark and it's open, and inside you can see just as the like fruit nut is like peeled from like a seed in the middle, who's like a fig, like all wrinkly but still wood-like, open for now filling out the forest again as trees have been burned, and well, some trees have been burned, but yeah, you can just see them opened, and you can see this faint glow come from some small caterpillars moving inside the forest on the tree trunks, on the ivory.
Also, some of the caterpillars are glowing.
Yeah, some of them.
He will actually he'll almost like lag behind as he kind of looks upon them with wonderment, but then quickly seeing Adonis's fierce pace, it has to struggle up forward and move forward to catch up, though trying to be as quiet as possible. Arkova knows that he is not nearly as the stealthy type as his nature doesn't lend him out to be. And of course he's also carrying an orc, so this kind of hinders him even more, so he will do his best to accommodate. But still, his mind, it leaps from wonderment and then back to the task at hand, as if trying to distract himself. Though deep down he feels that fire burning.
And can you give me outdoorsman hunter as you are trying to look for tracks? So it would be hunting. Yeah, if you can give me that roll, that would be awesome.
Is for all of us?
Yeah, I guess that would be. I don't know if you're really looking and one of you is asleep, so it's all very, very quiet. But
I have a whopping 10 in total.
I got a 17. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear. But now I hear it. Okay. As you are looking, you can see tracks of a wagon. Inside the forest, you find these tracks, and you find footprints of footprints, shoes. Someone have been walking here recently. Inside of hasn't been raining, so perhaps 2 days ago there was someone on this trail at least. Perhaps someone before has been used just a little bit. You can just see as you're moving along it. The wagon is not very sizable, and you can see also the ostriches moving their feet claws in the canopy as you're inside. You can see,
Where are you? There. Behold what opportunity is bestowed.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you didn't hear me.
Someone has been creeping around in this place. And is that a cart there?
Yes. You're small. Why don't you go have a look at it?
It was tracks from just
I certainly don't have a light source. I don't know if anyone else does. I mean, I see very well.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan. I don't think so. I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. Do ogres have better than?
It's 3 times better.
Yeah. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. It's still dusk, just on the brim of it. You can see the moons just starting to layer on you.
Yes, I'll go examine this cart there, and the torch is behind us, which I say out loud as Eros may be unaware that someone's been following us this whole time. The torches are behind us have been getting closer. The way that they move without stealth tells me they are not stalking us, but rather simply following us. That's why I think it might be the Force Watch, or simply the worst brigands to have ever walked these here woods. Now, it's time for me to. Now it's time for me to see what there is to be seen. And yes, I look towards that cart and I begin to creep along. Get some dice here.
Arkova will observe as he crouches with Apatax's cargo in hold. He'll crouch down, just kind of shakes his head, nods to the whole exchange, lying low as best as he can. His other left hand is like in a fist, touching onto the ground. So he's sort of like in like this football player gorilla position, sort of to put that mental image in the head. He'll take his right hand and just pat you as as you're making those noises. Hush now.
And I don't do what you said. I start wiggling around a bit, and you feel my hand on your back, like I'm rousing up. Eventually, I sort of slide off your shoulder, off your arm. I'm not grunting about. I'm just breathing heavily, when you wake up, just
Arkova will just lower you down at that point. And puts his finger up to his mouth.
Beady eyes look up at you.
And he just nods. He's sort of got this broad smile upon him, as if in his mind feeling as if we are getting closer.
I look up at you, my eyes, open. I slowly, like when you say that, and then I, like as you look away, like I look around, and I immediately think like, oh, these fools. I didn't want to go in. Like I look around, and there's a bit of like fear, and I start like sort of moving a bit, but my body's still sort of numb, and I'm just kind of like fumbling a bit, or like staggering as I'm trying to sit myself up.
He'll pat you on your shoulder a bit.
You
I'm
just
trying to
see
be quiet,
it's
but
very it's very dark, and there's just like torches moving closer to you, but they're like not moving in a like straight line. At least moving a bit like here and there, but still closer. That's really the only thing you can see. It's very dark. You can of course see like a Crovus's face, but it's stretching.
all right. But that's what I'm doing. Sort of getting my bearings.
And the torches slowly come closer and closer as you wait.
I'm gonna circle back around and find out who this is following us. So I need to make a stealth roll.
Yep, you can do that. And Kuro has.
Right there.
And I do not know about arrows. Oh.
What do you want? Move silently, hide in the shadows?
Yeah, move silently as you want.
Okay. So that's gonna be 20.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, they do not seem to notice you as you're walking. You can see like a lot of satyrs and like a few humans in between them, and you can see an ogress you have met before. This rather masculine ogress, but still very very
Same one I
handsome.
saw before, you said?
Yeah. You've definitely seen her before. She has like a pumpkin mask on just on the top of her head, like so she can put it down, but it's just on top of her head, and it seems too small to her. And she has like this grayish cloak, and they're all barefoot, dressed like farmers. A few of them have like silver and bone like piercings, but it's very simple, and they have pitchforks and like a sickle, scythe. So, and they're just moving, and then the humans and the satyr just looking with these big eyes just out there, and he's like looking down, very determined, and like following. You can see following your tracks.
Why are you following us?
And you can see her moving, and the others like moving like a little bit away, a little bit like around her, as if she was like a shield, and she's like looking at them with just irritation. You are Eros.
Yes.
You're the one who told.
Please let us.
Trusted you.
Please let us not.
Trusted you, and she like moving, like stepping.
Not play coyly here. Of course you know who I am. Don't ask silly questions. In character, not out of character, but in character, I didn't get anything else of what she said. Like the pomposity of her ridiculous question caused me to only focus on that nonsense. As she attempted to pretend like for a moment she didn't know me. She knows. Now answer my question.
You're not hiding. You're not hiding. Are you showing yourself? I was thinking that you were hiding.
No, I'm just like in the darkness. Yeah, I'm like in the darkness talking. I mean, they'll probably find me eventually, but I don't make any effort to help them other than talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, and that was what I was thinking. That's.
Yeah, no, but I mean, even still. No. This voice, no. So what is it you're following us for? Again, not having heard anything she said after that ridiculous comment.
I'm going to find you. And he's like looking, you're the reason she's not with us anymore. And he's like looking for you. You can just see she's very calm in her voice, but you can just see her hand, her knuckles are getting pink around like a scythe.
Oh, your nymph you speak of it. She's left for some reason. Why has she left? And then I'm gonna like just kind of start fucking with her, so I'll like move away all quiet. It's like a different spot.
And he's like looking at all the others, like looking at you, like looking anywhere, like moving with her, like looking with their torches. No, you told the orcs. That guy. And she's like looking, and then it's like moving towards.
Listen, we need all of you peasants. All of you peasants need to go home. This is too dangerous for you. So do what I say now, please, and run along. More pedestrian matters than tending.
No. She's gone now, and it's your fault. You and that little fox. She's like moving towards you, and then you're like sneaking away, and she's like you're talking to her back, and she's like moving again, just seething anger on her when you're like your face, but she's very like covered, so you can't see like.
So I gotta describe the scene. It's all dark and there's trees, and then I go. About in the middle of this is what I'm gonna do. It's gonna transpire. I go. Don't ever call me a fox. I am a wolf. I am the darkness, and I am the light. And I stand and all of a sudden she sees me just shrouded in burning orange and red flame, making my appearance in grandeur and opulence, showing her the face of Eros Adonis, a face to still her with lust at all times. There in the now illuminated wood, you best go home. And my long fangs glint in the wicked flame.
She's looking at you, just like stepping a bit back, and then she's like looking with a big smile out here. Little wolf, like looking at you, clearly interested, but she's like still moving. You just see anger and sadness and pain in her eyes as she's like moving towards you. Her sickle is just she's moving it like higher and higher up.
All right, I definitely regard her sickle. What is it? Does it appear to be made of anything in particular? Because I certain things I'm gonna notice a bit, if you feel me.
Yeah, it's iron with a wooden handle.
I don't like that. Yeah, I am sensitive to that. So I say you need to go back to your farm. Don't want to hurt you, but if we must, I begin to work up an appetite.
And when you like, we must cancel will. And she like looking up at you and then looking like a small like glance to the others who are standing there with their sickles, just terrified at you. You can just feel their fear like in a wave as you like shift your focus a bit. You can just see them, and they're like their hands are shaking and the torches are high. And he's like, "These are magi. We will not leave a trace." And she.
Wait, is she saying that I'm a magi?
Yep. And then she like.
Damn.
You are clearly magi. And then she, no, you should roll for initiative.
All right, so.
She's trying to lunge at you.
Magi! Why always the one?
Close.
How far away was I from my other companions? Just a curiosity.
Let's say 40 feet?
Oh, shit. I guess they would have heard every word then.
Yeah, I would.
My reaction was 9.
You had some time to like move, and I would guess that you.
Yeah, a big whopping 9. Also want to ask you a quick question. At the end of, I guess the end of last one, I was at 8 health gauge. I don't know if I've since subsequently regained any health gauge or get any rolls or anything like that. I just wanted to check.
Well, you can roll
Oh, okay.
once.
All right,
I'd say it's been 1 day, so
yeah, okay, well, that's at least one, right?
yeah.
Oh, 2. 2. Yeah. Okay, I'll deal with that.
Good. Let's see if we roll for the others. I guess they're a little bit better off. So the others would have heard this, even though it was quite a mission.
I mean, we didn't hear the whole conversation, but we did hear like we just heard the part where like he is being beset upon.
Yeah, like, you are magi. But some of the other thing, you're like 40 feet away, so you can hear like some of it. As I guess it's really quiet out here, so any sound travels like.
Gotcha. So what'll happen is that as soon as he hears "You're magi," we cut over to Arkova, whose large form, his head tilts back, turning, hearing that noise. All of a sudden, he turns to Apatax, and then all of a sudden, kind of flexes his back as he gets up, the twigs snapping and breaking underneath his form. And he turns in that one swift motion, turning on his heel. He begins to bolt. Twigs, leaves. Running towards Eros Adonis.
What was your reaction? This way. Can get it? You write it in the chat. No, you didn't. Except Q.
Mm-hmm.
So the other two, you can also roll for reaction.
Yes. Well, while they're reacting, I was starting to sneak away at the beginning of this exchange, and I turn and my white ears peek up, and then my white tail like ploofs up when I hear you're magi, and as if that were a horrible thing, and I think back to those horrible mage hunters that have been out there, and strangely enough, I decide to aid my companions, and I begin to skulk through the forest as I head towards this commotion. I'm nearly trampled by Arkova as he rages through the forest, uprooting all manner of plant life as he blasts through the foliage.
And you, Apitax, if you are so inclined, in this darkness to run blind towards the screaming ogre.
I was gonna roll my reaction. I was just checking if I got any penalties. I don't, but no, like they're running off. I hear that. I'm just sort of sitting myself up a bit, getting up. Feeling my asleep left arm kind of like waking up. Feeling that feeling coming back to me. I hear that shout. I'm not going near that. Yeah, I actually like crawl, I'm sitting up. I'm sitting and I sort of backwards crab walk away from that, where the other two sort of run. I'm kind of like staggering a bit, as I'm doing it, kind of like, and I'm backing away to maybe like a fallen down tree or a big rock. But once I find that, I sort of just trying to hide, trying to look and hide, where they are, what's going on. I see the torchlights, I see the silhouettes, but That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, but it's your turn, Kuro. I will not say that you can get there really in
Sure.
one. Oh, how you have like 18.
I do have an 18 speed, but in fairness, I am also sneaking, so
Yeah.
I will be, moving at a slower sort of pace. So that's what I'm trying to do is, go through the foliage, go through the underbrush, and then come up behind some sort of nefarious mage hunter or another. But I suppose that's for later.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just like ever so slightly moving like a silvery reflection of the moon upon the ground as I move like a shadow. Yes.
Nightcrawler.
With a speed of 15, he'll start barreling down, and if I'm able to get close within time, he's going to intimidate this other person, because as far as he's concerned, these people are just interfering with the hunt. There's some vengeance to be had. These aren't the people that done did his dad in. They need to get the hell out of his damn way. So he's just gonna like come barreling out of the forest, and his arms is gonna be outstretched wide. If there's like a branch in the way, it's just getting knocked down like it wasn't there. You interfere, then you die. I just barrels that voice outwards, using his sing in tangent in this forest that is now quiet, which is now filled with his rage. All right, go ahead and roll that. Oh, the 2 1s. Okay, so here's what happens. So he's running, but this branch that he did not see was like in the way, and so as he's barreling down, it just smacks him right in the face, and the most hilarious, like he's coming down off of a slope, so he hits the branch, just hits him in the face. His arm catches the tree, he just flips over on his face, front forward, and just kind of tumbles on down. That's what happens.
You can just see these people with like with pitchforks and torches. They're like looking at you, just in shock as the priestess is shouting this, but they're not attacking. They're just in a bit of confusion about this, and they don't really want to attack arrows. There's just like they're looking at you, and then looking at there's like about 7 of them, 2 humans and rest are satyrs.
Well, now they see a large tumbling red man just falling over end as he like tries to grab his mandolin to not get broken in the way. Now he's like face forward with a face full of leaves and twigs. He just gets up. He'll spend the rest of the and now he's really pissed. But that's a humiliation.
We go back to the ogress, and she screams "Magi" at you, and we'll try to get you with a sickle. That's okay. I guess it's not. But oh, and that someone is. Oh.
Alright, mine's gonna be 18.
Okay, yours will not get that high with that roll. So yeah, you can go ahead. You can describe it. She has a sickle. But yeah.
She doesn't hit me, does she?
No, she doesn't hit you. She has like a. Oh, let's see. With a 4. Yeah, she has.
Is my reaction the next one or no?
Yeah, it's your.
Alright, let me just describe everything together then. I'm going to attempt to have at her with my bastard sword. She is very large and attempting to kill me. Ooh. 25.
Nice. I do not think she will. She has that's it. 12.
12 is 25. All right, I'll move on 6. I'm going to boost on her twice. That was a bad day for her. And of course, I'm still glowing with flame all over my body. I have 9. With armor surpass 1. 9 from obsidian.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Well, that's of course a huge one, but she's not in the quick.
I would have. I mean, she's a giant ogre, so all right, so she swings, and I leap back. The flames scorching her iron, and that smell, that horrible smell of banal, broken iron. My eyes widen. Not in fear, but nearly. Trepidation, perhaps. My sword quickly comes from sheath in the hand and slices into her belly, crushing heavy against the left side of her rib cage, and leaving a very small trace as she managed to get slightly out of the way, not having her innards dumped on the forest floor. And I stand ready to end things. The sword now in both hands.
You.
Mm-hmm. So I still continue towards these types. I see the exchange. I see the flash of iron heading towards Eros. I do not like the look of that one bit. And am I close enough to?
You're close enough to
Okay.
yeah.
And so
with her all the assorted farmers. Or you don't know. They look
okay.
like farmers.
And all right, for a 22 on an attack against one of the farmers. I'm going up like from the back of the group while everyone's attention is on Eros.
Yeah, I closed my book. Sorry. I put it on my keyboard and then nothing worked. So it's 22. I'm sure it's a hit. Let's see. It's yeah. They have it. Yeah, it's a hit. What do we boost on?
5.
Okay, so I guess you boost twice if it was a 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, boost twice. And of course, yeah.
So that
How much
is
damage do you do?
7.
Yep, you're good. You can take one down.
Okay. And so unsure right now if it is time to start murdering these people or if we should just be subduing them, I sneak up behind and I begin to remove a bit of a sash from my robe and I hook it around a guy's neck and just begin silently strangling him. And he starts going down in my sleeper hold, and then another one of the farmers turns. He's like, "Oh!" And he sees that, and he jabs with his pitchfork to try and skewer me. So I turn, I turn his friend, and then he is stabbed directly in the chest. Oh! And his last words are, "Jeremiah, you fuckwit!" Oh! And then he just falls dead, as combat is engaged with these yokels with their torches and pitchforks.
And Akrova, it's your turn as you see this.
Oh, he's gonna get up, and now he's fucking pissed at this point, man. He tried to make a grand entrance, and he just fell flat on his face due to these trees and these woods. And he's gonna go for that intimidate one more time. And this time, the line between threat and promise becomes quite blurred. Oh my god! Okay, this is what happens. He tries to get up again, but he's so angry. He just like grabs onto the tree. He tries to pull himself up, but there's like a slick patch, right? And the force that he applies to get himself up causes him to trip once again, falling, and then slips further. And there's like a mud patch there too, with like where there's like a small, tiny little trickle of a stream. And he just collapses into it. Now he's got mud on his face. He tries to. Now you got this thrashing red man trying to get about, but he's just like fumbling around like a fool. And so his own rage is feeding against him at this point. Like it's not even aiding him; it's like making him look even worse. He's just now fumbling around. Ah! Ah! Damn it! Damn these woods! Damn this! Ah! He begins like slamming his fist into the mud. It splashes up against his face. Some of it gets into his eyes. Ah! That's what'll happen. He'll be fumbling around.
And as you're seeing this, you can see, well, there's like a divide of these people. As you see that they are like as you're looking down, you can just see shadows moving closer to you. Not shadows, like they have like torches with them, and they will try to club you with the torches because they can. And they're like 2 of them can give me 2 defense rolls. So, oh, it's a good one. Let's see, we have a 9 and we have a 16. Don't you? Yeah. So yeah, you can roll Acrobat as you are being clobbered with burning torches.
Oh, they're besetting upon me as they should. As they should. Okay, let me.
And you can also, I will just write it down in my table because there's. And you, Kuro, you can see how the one who is like looking at you, like with his like spear, he will try to well stab further. I guess that would work a little bit, maybe.
Okay, the first one is a 17.
Yeah, you're good. And
the second one is an 8.
Then you're not good.
Okay. So what'll happen?
This is a torch, and it will deal. Let's see. So it will deal 4. Oh, it's there's it boosted once.
Okay.
So it will be 5 damage, and one of them will be fire damage. So you can describe it as you can give me. You have given me 1 defense roll or 2 because you need 2.
Okay, so what happens? One guy with these 2 fools will come running up. Over here. They'll come running up, and as they should. And with Arkova fumbling about, one of them just slams the torch right down into his backside as he's just trying to get up in his fumbling manner, and the torch burns onto that shoulder. Ah! And he just singes it in there as if you were taking a cigarette and just putting it out in someone's cheek, just rubbing it right in there. And as they enjoy it, Arkova gets up and boom, knocks him away as the other fool comes running up. Oh, but he messed up. The like mud gets slung in his face as he's trying to swing. And begins swinging about, and then Arkova begins to rise up and gets himself up into a more proper fighting stance, covered in mud, twigs, and leaves. He will duck and dive.
Oh. That's not good for you, Kuro. So let's see. Okay, What you got with your 2 defense rolls? Oh, did you write the other one? Oh. Well, you're good with 1, but there's the one who has like the spear, and he's just thrusting. Trying to thrust the pitchfork through his friend and into you, but you can describe. And the other one also have a pitchfork. As the other 3 are moving towards arrows. So 15. No, he hits you with a pitchfork, so that is 2 damage and 1 armor surpass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so yes, as the one guy falls from my grip, and he is dead. The other guy, his pitchfork is stuck in him, and he pulls it out and does a weak hit. I spin to the side, ha, and give a bit of a laugh, and then I feel like as if I've been bitten or burnt by something, and I look, and there's a gleeful, nearly toothless Ferrum with a pitchfork, and he's reaching up and he's poking at me, and I begin to feel some of that blood under my robes, and he's ruined my robe, and he will pay.
Sure, and 2 on 1 and 2 on you arrows as they are trying to. Oh, that's not good for you. Well, let's see. One of them needs another one, so that's 17. So so when you as they're trying to assist with they have pitchforks as well, trying to stab you, and one is like with a torch, like holding,
What were their rolls?
There's light everywhere. What?
There's a little bit of breaking up from you. What were their rolls?
20 and 9.
All right, I'll go against the. I guess it's the 20 then. It's the first one, right? Ooh. Oh. That 20. I don't even need to add anything into that one. Deny them at a 9, huh? Let's just be double. No, with just the dice. All right. So as they come towards me, my skill and grace is just far too much of them. They have been impressed upon. They are facing a god. They're not facing a man here in Dark Woods, a man that glows with flame. How can they seek to bring themselves with their pitiful iron blades against the likes of me? And as they come, their hands quiver and tremble around their iron sickles. You have made a horrendous mistake. Turn back now, as they come towards me, slashing with blades and trembling hands. I step back, sliding away from them. They run into each other ever so slightly, and I stand looking at them under the crackle of the leaves beneath their feet. You have only one more chance.
Then you can see the Okras looking at you as the other are standing, like moving, skulking behind you, trying to get good book in. As she screams, "Just for Cantaloupe!" And she has let's see, where is it? Yeah. She has 19. Yep. Is she trying to get at you? What?
I already rolled. No, that's not going to do it.
You can describe. She's trying to get at you.
Right, so she's actually looking at these two who have been awed by the potency and the true divinity that is Eros Adonis. They know they don't want a piece of it, and trying to rally her troops is just too much. As she lurches forward. She catches her ankle slightly on a branch. Not much, but ever so slight of a stumble, and I glide, moving away from her, looking almost like some sort of floating apparition in the darkness, as my feet cannot be seen, as I am only in a nimbus of flame. So I'm going to look at one of them and I'm going to awe them as a accelerated action. I do have that. All right. Gosh, the motion of this is very, very high. Let's see here. It's going to be 16. That's 25. That's if neither of them are actually attracted, or the one that I'm going to go with the one that had a 20. If that one is not attracted to me, so if it is, then it's much higher than 25.
Well,
But
it's a 23.
the 23 is not as high as the 25.
No, it's
So
not.
I'm going to impress upon the fact that and Nimbus will swirl with myriad whites and spectral blues. The oranges seem to lick out almost like thorns of flame in the dark forest. It's in a forest of darkness, the most dreaded predator in the world, and one who just might be more than man. And I put that on it. You chose wrong. You should put your faith in me. And I just aspire it to become so filled with my essence to its mind, as I trod the labyrinth of its mind, sending confusion into it in all forms. And then I'm gonna attempt to deal with this ogress for her wretched ways. Well, apparently, I'll be the Magi Hunter, not her, with a 66. And that should be 21. 21.
She has a 17.
Oh, that's definitely not going to be enough. I said a 17. All right, so she's going to take 7 of obsidian with an armor surpassable 1. A total of 16 she's taken.
Yeah, she's still feeling okay, but you can as she's covered in like these garments, you could assume as you're like using your blade that she has some kind of armor inside of it.
All right.
Okay.
So I whip her, I pommel whip her in the face with my sword, shooting her back so that spit the flat of her mouth. I told you, Ogress, I am no witch or mancer.
And yet you called upon the swamp. My people will be in hunger. People have died. People were died in the street.
No, they
Antelope.
attacked your town. I defended you, fool.
No. You told them, and they called upon them to kill her. Let me go to Q.
Mm-hmm. So that for him, he's jabbing, and he sticks the pitchfork into the ground, and I take this opportunity to 1, 2, just 2 steps. I'm like stepping up that pitchfork to kick at him in the face, and I pre-rolled this. I had a 17. Mm-hmm. All right, and so my sandaled feet meet his I would assume clean shaven face, because it seems like they worship something. And he gets a foot right in his mouth, and the Pharaoh falls. Oh, hits his head upon a rock. He turns, and with a bit of blood, he coughs up his last 2 teeth, and now truly this Pharaoh is without teeth, and he is left poor and unconscious on the forest floor.
And Akroba? As you are still on the ground and these two humans are clobbering you with their...
These two humans are about to have a bad day. As long as I don't roll any more ones, we shall see, though. As we shall see. As he shall attempt to defend himself. Alright, so that's going to be 21 right there.
What do you boost on?
He boosts on a 5.
Then you boost twice.
Ooh. Alright. Does that dispatch any of them?
Yes, I would believe so. How much damage is it?
It's going to be 7. With the boost, so that makes it 9.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, sweet. So like they've been having their way. One of them stabbing. Arkov had to get up and try to defend himself, but now like we zoom into his face as he's like looking into the ground, not believing this tragedy that has befallen him, and you just see his eyes, and all of a sudden this Kill Bill moment. Red starts flashing, and then like his hands just grip into the ground, and then he just gets up. And in one fell swoop, he does a tiger upper punch and just like catches him right underneath the jaw. And like we zoom in like X-ray vision style, so like Arkova's fist catches him there, and then we see his spine go as he just gets broken in half, and he stands up. Now he's just like a statue of red meat, muscle, and rage. As he looks down at the other one, and then with his arm still in the air from the uppercut, he backhand the other guy. That's what he'll do. Well, that one's going to be 23.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh yeah, and then just as I said before, it becomes just a backhand. That arm that had went ahead into the uppercut now, boom, hits him into the side of the head, and a sickening crack can be heard as his head will unnaturally move completely to the side, and his eyes go wide and as he just stumbles off into the ground, hitting a rock, and then maybe twigs and stuff stabbing into his neck. The torch is falling down flat. He's just sitting there, breathing hard and heavy, covered in muck and mud, and his fist in blood.
You just see that one hesitant satyr standing there, just in the middle of all this chaos, just looking at you with his wide blue eyes, just looking at you. And he raises his torch and get at you. Try to. Yeah. Oh, God. Really bothers me that both training are not working. But... Oh. Did that work? It works now. That is 21. She tries to get at you, and you two can give me 1 defense roll, and you Eros can give me 1 defense roll as well, as the other one is throwing down his...
Am I making a defense roll as well?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Let's 15 for me.
17 for me.
We first have
15 as well.
Good. We first have you can describe as you are hit. He has a 21. The one satyr with a club.
This is me?
No. This is
Oh.
Mountain Rise. But you can describe as he...
Alright, so as he like has that victorious moment where he dispatches those two humans, he doesn't even notice the satyr, right? And the satyr is nervously and he charges in, and Arkova in his blood fury, he's hearing this nothing but like that sharp whining whistling noise that you get when the blood is rushing to your head and you're just infuriated, and all of a sudden he feels something cold and sharp into his side. And he can feel the heat finally from that torch singeing into the side of his leg. And he just stares down upon him, that little satyr. Oh, the horrible things that shall befall this guy. But his bravery shall be rewarded in battle. How much damage was that again?
That is 4 damage.
4 damage. Gotcha.
And one of them is fire damage.
That definitely singes up into the leg and kind of digs into it as a bit of the wood has been sharpened at the front, just stabbing and cauterizing at the same time.
It's cool. I got the same roll twice. You can see. 3-3. That's cool. But yeah, so both of you are unfortunately hit. One with both with like pitchforks. Still screaming. Magi, die! As a little bit of vigor is as they see like a Crover being hit again, and maybe there's hope. You can see that in their satyr faces. Yeah, you can describe them. Yeah.
So, yeah, so I am hit with a pitchfork?
Yep. For
Okay.
for 2 damage, 1 armor suppress.
Mm-hmm. And so with this one, it's one of those filthy satyrs, and he tries to stick me with the iron edge, but I dodge to the side, but he is a quick one, and he brings the staff portion of the pitchfork. Oh, and he hits me in the stomach. That knocks the air out of me. Ooh, for those 2 damage, and then I lock eyes with the satyr, and there will be a reckoning.
And you arrows, you are also hit for 2 damage, but it's not iron. It's wood. It's a pitchfork. You know. That's,
He hit me at 17 or something.
yeah, you had a 15, right?
17.
Oh, then he don't hit you. I thought you both had a 15.
5, 7 plus 5. All right. So as he comes towards me, light manifests. It's still a nimbus around my head, a flame, and light manifests in my hand. And I'll reach back and grab his hand, forcing and preventing him from being able to bring the club down as was his custom upon the back of my dome. You should not think so poorly.
Cool. And when you're doing that, she will. Oh, well, that is 11, and she will try to get at you with her sickle. You can see, yeah. Yeah, you can roll. It's you, arrows. She's trying to get at. Because
I know, I'm rolling here. I'm rolling. That's what is that? 17 is going to be 22.
Yeah,
22.
you're very good. So it's your turn. You can describe if you want to do it.
She comes towards me with her farm implement. The trepidation still inside me, however, adrenaline pumps through my fey form as I leap back from the iron, nearly touching me in the chest. You must understand, I am no magi, nor did I bring that thing here. I fought to protect Flame Dance, my city. Alright, well, my good streak, I think, has run out. I am going to be at 12 on my attack against her.
Well, she is at more than 12 with her. So you are, yeah, she miraculously moves away from your blade as she steps back from your two-handed swing. She looks at you, just hatred filling in her eyes. Then why now? Why? You did it to kill Cantaloupe.
No! It came here.
It came here to kill us all.
Town, to destroy me.
It killed Cantaloupe and then it left.
Get a hold of yourself.
Then you go to Junku and she still keeps yelling at you. But you can respond, of course.
You must get hold of yourself. We have no need to destroy you. We are no magi. We're attempting to aid your flame dance. Calm yourself and think.
Okay, and so as that satyr tries to skewer me again with his pitchfork, the first time in his lazy life that he's picked up a pitchfork. Before he's just been a roustabout and a layabout, and he tries to stab me, but um, my extreme dexterity and skill at brawl, he jabs and I actually do the splits and attempt to punch him in the groin because he is a satyr and that is what he deserves for it was a 19. Okay, and so yes, I'm glad that I'm wearing gloves and I connect with the satyr's with the satyr stones. Oh, and he begins to curl up, but instead I and I begin to work his nutsack like a speed bag. And he's like, oh, and he just falls to the ground, curling up, and goes unconscious. For I have exploited the satyr's weakness, and he has paid the price.
Eros. No, right. A crow. Sorry.
All right. Markova's gonna attack this this fool satyr who clearly decided it was all right to stab me with a damn torch. All right, so that's 21.
You're good.
All right, so like the scene sets up he gets done taking out those two humans, and then the satyr runs up and then he turns to him, and now he's got the shadow of death literally looming over him. He picks up his leg that he had stabbed him with, and he knocks the torch out of his hand first, and then afterwards he picks up his foot. That big red smashes him right into the face, stepping on him into the ground, and then just literally walks on him and over him as he is smashed into the ground. He makes his way towards the others because now he is fuming. He has been stabbed with flame and fire and torch, all of this impediment against his revenge. How many more must die before I get what I need? He clenches his fist and grits his teeth.
And we have that single one left. You see the satyr looking at Eros. He has his pitchfork ready, not the one who's standing. Yeah, still looking, confused, looking from side to side, not knowing. But the other one has a little bit of convict. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. That. 22.
Is this against me?
Yeah, 22. Yeah. I just had to be sure.
And that satyr's attacking me?
Yep, with a pitchfork.
That's not going to be...
Of dreaded wood.
Unfortunate. That's going to be a 15.
Okay. So he boosts once. So you take 3 damage and 1 armor surpass from this.
No armor. I don't have a shirt on.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that however, I say go now with the flame and the halo nimbus reef around my face, grim and stony, undulating with fire, and then BAM! The club hits me right in the face, dispelling my grandeur and opulence. I see stars from both sides of my eyes, yellow stars, as he slightly concusses me from the blunt force trauma, and I stagger back in confusion. My nose nearly broken.
And the ogress, still speaking to you, still blaring about you being a magi. You call this upon yourself. You with the trolls and not with the truth! and that would be oh, that's a lot. Sorry. You should roll a defense roll just so you know. Let's see.
Yeah.
17.
Well, it was bad. Does that help me? It's a 9.
No, it is 26.
Oh.
Well, so you had a 9?
9.
Oh, 26, 9. I guess that's twice. I guess so. She boosts on your tri-stab twice, and you take. Let's see, 2 times. So that is a lot. That's 7 damage.
Now that's 7. I am hypersensitive to iron.
Yep. So
That's not including that, right?
That's not including that.
All right. I don't know if you would like to describe it. I can describe it if you like, whatever. But I'm going.
You can describe it. That would be fine.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All right. She swings her wicked, Farum-made weapon towards me, the most loathsome of all metal, iron, attempting to poison my beautiful soul. And I think in my mind, I don't know anything about witchcraft, but I know something about Farum, about their foul beards and their hideous stench and the stink of them and their rotten teeth of them. And this thing is in league with Farum, is in league with the complete opposite of luxuriousness, and this is something I simply cannot abide. However, her blow blindsides me as I am still slightly concussed from the slamming sensation of the satyr's club. Then the wickedness of her sickle pierces my alabaster flesh from top to bottom. I go flying back under the tremendous strength of this enormous wall of red muscle in feminine form, and I use that most loosely. I go flying back, and with the smell of the decaying forest, the shadow of the trees, and they dance and move as I, a source of light itself, am hurled backwards. Just think of it in slow motion, Spartacus style, as the blood just goes flying out in a moon-like arc, spattering upon the dried leaves in my wake. I fly perhaps 5 feet into the air and back, slamming ignobly upon that same dying, decaying vegetation, the nimbus of light burning some of the leaves before, slowly, as the seconds tick by, it extinguishes, leaving the battlefield again more dark than it was.
She look at you. She has like her. So you can see her just. And then she looks, and then she locks eyes with you, Kuro. You can just see hatred filling on you. You're the other one, the other Magi, the liar. You, the liar.
There's of course the look of fear at first, for this is an enormous red ogress, but then I adopt a fighting stance. The ears are up and alert. They're not down and cowed. The tail sticks out straight, bristling and twitching, eager for combat. I simply hiss out a curse in Calixian, Usotsuki. And I look at her, my orange eyes flashing in the night. For one of my compatriots, one of the dark fae, has been felled. The flame in the darkness has been quenched, and that shall not be.
It's also your turn. So.
Sorry, what?
It's also your turn. So.
Oh, yes. And so, yes, I dash forward and from side to side in a skillful dodging display. I step upon the back of Eros, where those wings would once have sprouted from, those glorious burning feathers, would have lit up the forest at one point, but now he's covered in dust and his own blood. Iron has pierced him. And with that, I leap, and I attempt a flying kick towards this ogress. And with a 20, I send my heel towards her neck.
She has a 17, so you succeed.
All right, and so I will hit for 5.
How much armor supplies?
0.
Good. She is. You can see the. Okay, this is not. She's not in the quick, but she is very close to the quick. She also was before, but you can describe it.
Okay, and so yes, I come in and that heel connects to the carotid artery. Were she not an ogress, were she but a smaller being, this could easily knock a person out in one blow, as that artery would quiver and disrupt the flow of blood to the brain and simply send someone into unconsciousness. But no, instead, her reward is simply a nasty bruise beginning to well upon her neck. And she grabs my leg after I've connected. And tosses me aside. Oh, my 120-pound form crashes into the underbrush. But I rise up essentially unwounded. I bear those fangs, and more curses in Calixian are uttered and whispered forth. She dares disparage the name of the Magi. She dares disparage the name of the Dark Fae. She will be taught a lesson, as the lumbering red form of Arkova is still there.
And it's your turn, Agrova. You can see arrows fallen. And as you look at the ogress, you remember her from that moment in Bacchus's fest house. You remember the one beside her with that same pumpkin mask on top of you, and you remember the locust flying into it. You remember locusts swarming around the other figure beside her, but you also remember her.
And for a brief moment, he is filled with a bit of contention in his heart. For this one thinks that we are enemy. We are clearly the ones going after the enemy. She blames us for this, and yet all Arkova can think of in his mind, knowing the rage that she must feel, but the rage that he feels for those who have wronged him, to be so close. Eros, the one who can track down anything with his Mihangi nature, and the mystical flames that surround him has been put down. Kuro, tossed aside and asunder after delivering a strong kick. He cannot abide this. He can't abide any of this! And he will begin to make his assault upon her, as he will use an accelerated action to grab her. It's a 15 in total. Oh wait, it's a... hold on. That might be a little bit more, actually. Okay, I get to actually... that is a 17 instead, because I'm going to use my signature slam.
So, I should still roll brawl, right, against this, or should I roll acrobatics? I do not remember. Against the slam?
Yeah, because he's attempting to grapple her, and for his signature slam. So it's a 17 in total.
Yeah, but well, if it's brawl she's using, it's she has a whopping 15. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, then in that case, he connects, and and now it's time to bring the pain and the rage that comes along with it. So he begins to run up onto her, and from the darkness, this massive form, Arkova, begins this charging forward towards her. She begins to ready herself. She comes down with the swing. Boom! He just knocks it out of her hand. Actually spins her around a bit, and she meets forward again. She just sees him staring at her face, and then all of a sudden, both hands grabbing her right around the neck, and she gets lifted straight up into the air. His arms flexing. As he yells into the night, his howls up into the moons themselves as those eyes watch down from above, and his hands grow tighter and tighter around her throat. How much more must interfere with my vengeance? And he jumps up into the air and then slams her down powerbomb style onto the ground with a mighty thud. And the damage here is it's going to be let's see here. 9 damage in total.
She is severely in the quick.
He just slams her down very hard onto the ground. You can feel the thud, the leaves kind of shaking and shattering, the twigs smashed into utter oblivion as these two red forms have met the ground once more. And she's her head bashed up against the ground. His utter continence is now that of rage as he just looks upon her, his teeth gritting, hateful of all the things that has happened around him, and of the things that have now obscured and absconded their path.
As she's lying down there, you can see the peasants, the two peasants standing on the side with the pitchfork. They just close them, they let go of them, and she's like, "I do not want you. You are not one of." And she she stands up, no voice left from all the trauma to her neck. She's bleeding from her side still, and she tries to get a cure. She doesn't leave at you, Akrova, because you did not, in her mind. Sorry.
Oh.
Even though she's severely hurt. Let's see. So let's count this. What? Oh. Let's try to see. That's 10, that's 18, that's 12, that is 20. She's at 21. So.
Oh wow, really?
She got double H, and she. But
yeah, I would have thought it'd be higher.
She's in the quick, really bad. So it's you can barely breathe. But you can.
All right, so saved by our Arkova's vicious pummeling, she reaches out, fueled more by rage and righteous fury than anything. Managed to grab me up by my robe and pick me up, but just before the fist smashes down, she's just so weakened and so beaten that I managed to just fall free, and she's just left holding a ripped piece of cloth. Does that as I fall to the dust. And then rise, saved by her slowed reflexes from the battle. Oh yes, my turn. And yes, so with this, while while I'm on the ground, then I look to the famed ogre weakness. Oh, the knees, and I attempt to. Ooh, so a 22. Oh.
He has a 3.
Okay, so yeah, that boosts on 5. So it sounds like it's going to be total of 8 damage.
Yeah, she's gone.
Mm-hmm. And right, so while on the ground, I managed to do like a hook and hit the back of her knee. Oh, so that sends her to her knees. I kick upwards, crack, connecting at that thick ogre jaw. It's extremely difficult to damage an ogre in this way, but that is merely the stunner. I kick once, I rise, kick again from the other side. These 2 blows in rapid succession. Her already jumbled brain rattles about in her that thick ogre skull. Confused. Her blurred vision only sees some object heading towards her at high velocity. It is another punch, whack, right there, square between the eyes. A final blow, and the dark, oily unconsciousness subsumes over her, and boom, that red form falls upon the ground. The trees themselves seem to shake, and leaves fall from them, and suddenly the forest is nearly in silence.
And the 2 standing there, the 2 left with no weapons, they have thrown them down. They just turn on their satyr heels and run from you. Yes.
Arkova will stand up over the many corpses that lay around him, and as those satyrs run away, he bellows outwards in this forest of quiet. They'll hear once more the roaring of his voice. Never interfere with us again! This is my vengeance! Ah! He pummels onto the earth again once more, having to shed blood that is not, in his mind, deserving to be shed, but these people interfere. They threaten his friends, those who have helped him out. And now, once more, the satiated blood must flow. He looks abound at these corpses all around, part of him filled with hunger, and the other with just rage, empty and wild. The adrenaline still pumping, his chest throbbing, his breath deep and long.
I take this as an opportunity to move away from Arkova. Though we stand victorious in battle, I certainly am not going to be hugging him at this point. So I move away, and I look down to Eros. I know the iron has pierced him, and this has some strange effect on the magical makeup that has created this bizarre nymph man. And I look and I, having no barber, I'm just really looking to see if any iron implement is still stuck in him, but I believe he was just slashed. Yes, and so I put my arms under his arms, and I begin to.
Were you asking me that?
Well, I was just putting the question out there in general.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know that was rhetorical. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I begin to drag him away. I remember where Apatax is, and Apatax has sewing needle and thread, and that is perhaps the only thing that can save him at this moment.
You find me by that rock, like a good maybe 40 feet or so away. Not hiding behind it. I'm just sort of looking. And, slowly I see your pale form come into my view. Of course, that's like when you're little bit over 10 feet away from me, and I start getting up.
Oh, Apotex. It was horrible. They were witch hunters of some magnitude, and my I, I've been stuck by a pitchfork with there's dung upon it, I'm sure, and my robe was ripped, and Eros has been nearly murdered. And I drag Eros over closer and closer. He was pierced by the iron. I saw it. An iron sickle.
Hmm. 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 Yes. Fractured nose. Chest. Labored breathing. He's in critical condition. Kuro. Have they been vanquished?
Yes, they've been struck to the ground, and there are only two others, and they ran. They'll never come here again. Markova's voice may well have flattened them as they turned tail and ran.
I see. We must make our way back. Follow them to the camp. I can do what I can with the wounds. I start fumbling around in my satchel. I open it up. But we will need a closer place, perhaps a better place for to rest. You have lost much blood, I see.
Yes, resting. And I actually, Mia, I look around at that cart that was around. Is it still
There was no. There
visible?
was because it was tracks.
Oh, it's just tracks.
Yeah. Fine. Sorry.
I thought there was one in a distance or something. Okay. Um.
There's big trees. Very little light is coming through the canopy.
Mhm.
The sounds of the forest is still very dampened, but with your outdoorsman, you know that even with a Farum there, the sweet-smelling satyrs will perhaps lure something here, unless Akrova eats it all. But we haven't been there.
Leave the body here. Retrieve Arkova.
Alcova is indisposed. And I think back to that. He may as well have been a burning pyre with all of his rage and fury.
Yes, I understand, Kuro. Help me find a place to move. A safer place. What if there's more?
Yes. We'll find a fine spot. And I look around and I'm thinking in my mind of like, where would a fox go to dig a hole?
And just as that happens, you hear the thundering stomping of Arkova coming up, and his face is covered with an even darker visage of red, as there are what looks like bits of meat have been on the lip a little bit here and there, and still a bit of blood dripping. He walks up. His chest is still heaving to and fro, but he looks at you too. Just kind of gives a silent bit of a nod.
You see me holding that dagger. There's that moment where I kind of like look up at you and I'm holding that dagger and I'm not sure if like you're like lost or you're there. And then I see you just sort of nodding. I put the dagger away. We need to move. Help Kuro find a safe place. If there's more.
And when you, Kuro, are thinking about finding a place, you would find if you can find a place where trees have been falling, that would give a lot of cover. So maybe that's where Fox will dig its hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I look for such an area where there's a good fallen strong oak or something that has crashed down. Ah, yes, yeah, yeah. We can put him behind in this. Yeah, we can put him behind this fallen tree. Be some cover if we must build a fire, though. Not sure if that is the greatest of ideas if we can avoid it at all.
No, the fire is good. Fire is good.
Mm,
We must not have a trail lead to us. Uh, I like look at Eros, as we sort of dragged him a bit, some of his blood's gotten onto the leaves and the mud. I look at that. Hmm. I cannot start a fire, but I will begin working on Eros the best I can. Go, look, make light. I like just say it to you too.
hmm I actually what I do instead of trying for flint and tinder, what I instead do is I run back towards the battle site, and they had torches and pitchforks, so I'm sure something is on the ground, and is any torches fallen? I can just grab the
Yeah,
snatch
there's
them. Yeah.
some leaves is
hmm
slowly at farther, but it was documented that it was like close to a
Yeah.
pot of mud, so it's like it's not that. There's
hmm
torches.
So I pick a torch up out of the mud, shake a bit off. One of the torches that is burned Arkova, and I run back with that, and start scooping up dried leaves or something, and I put a little fire, and I make sure that it's behind the huge fallen tree, and we've just got some cover and protection from that.
And during this time, Arkova would have just gone ahead and started grabbing a bunch of like tinder and stuff and twigs. He's just got a big pile of it. He just grabs a big handful, and when he sees you come back, Hero, with it, he'll just slowly start piling it on top of there, building this fire up to give us some bit of warmth after the heat of battle.
As
You
that
see
light trickles
like
in,
bits of blood dripping from his mouth around the edges. And if you would actually, as you went back to the battle site, if you had paid attention or bothered looking, you'd see the chest cavity of that ogress has been excavated out quite thoroughly.
She was wearing like leather vest under, but it's just. But I guess that was just.
Well, that would have been ripped off, and then and the flesh would have also been exposed, and it looked like a scene from Aliens.
and as we're getting that fire going, and I'm taking out some of my wrappings, and I'm working on Eros. I look at you two, and for a moment there's this strange look I give you two, like it isn't. You haven't quite seen me give this look. Like my brows raise up a bit, my eyes are open, um, and, but then I say, my people, they say, uh, there are tales, and I'm saying as I'm working on arrows, of life that does not wish to stay. Sick it becomes by ill things best be forgotten. Uh, they eat, chew like mm, beasts, predators, but they are beyond. This, this is why I hold trepidation walking into this forest. This is why we must keep the fire lit. The tales, they are afraid of this. They are specters wrapped in flesh. They are uh, broken things, men, women of many forms. They come back. They eat.
Oh,
They eat. This in my teachings from my great matrons, this is what I fear dwells in these woods. This is why we must keep the fire. We must not have a trail. They will come. This I am certain. But what you live for them, and I look at you, Arkova, they will have that, not us.
I see. Well then, would a second fire be in order?
I look at you, and if you can.
I suppose it could not hurt. I do this for Eros. I believe the smell of the flame will awaken something in him and aid in his healing process. I begin to yes, help myself to Arkova's bundled tinder and such, and set a second fire like at the other end of our little campsite.
I feel it is best we stay here until it is light again.
Yes.
Arkova sits down against the tree with a slight bit of a thud. His knees up. He places his mandolin off to the side, and he just kind of stares into that building fire. Occasionally he'll throw a little bit of tinder into it.
These stories, my people, carve on the wood, on the stone. This story I told you to now, it is not to strike fear, to make you aware of what I have come to perhaps understand. I hope I am wrong. I hope I am wrong. But rare have I been such. And I continue working on arrows.
Arkova nods his head and looks outward into that darkness. Should any more foes beset upon us, I will fight them. I will fight them with everything that I have.
If those that eat and are dead, you would never want to meet that. Never. Such a damned thing. Like I say, just like sort of shaking my head as I'm working on arrows, wrapping. Of course, like his nose. Immediately, I go to that, and there's very sort of delicate hands. I sort of feel where where they're broke and whatnot, and there's a quick sort of like with my one hand I hold the back side of his head, and the other I sort of hold the other. Looks like I'm about to like break his neck kind of thing. But then I sort of hold his nose, and there's like a quick sort of sound as I snap his nose back into proper place, and then I quickly start cleaning the blood and wrapping the bandages. Of course, it begins to immediately swell up his nose and whatnot, and just blood comes freely out of his nostrils after being reconnected. And I mean, it's still broken, it's still bruised, it's still soft and tender. And as well as the other wounds, I do have needle and thread. I did come prepared, in which case I start working throughout the night, being now like adrenaline pumping through me. I'm and also resting earlier in the day. I'm very much awake and very attentive, and very determined. And of course, I don't sleep or I don't rest or anything for that night. I'm just up.
Then you can also always be carried by a crowbar. Sleep in the day. And read the comments. And good. And we have a relatively quiet, not a relatively quiet night. It's eerily quiet here at Krova. The only thing that really gives noise is the crackling of the fire as you sit and watch over. The moon's leering at you partially through the canopy, and you have small visits of critters looking at you, and other smaller insects. And we go to where our master's face shows its light to the three of you, and Akrova and Eros, you should roll conditioning rolls, and Yukio, it too, of course.
You told me to make a what now?
Conditioning roll. You regained 5 from the attended hand of
You said I regained 5?
Yeah, you regain 5 from Apitax's mending hands as he do surgery on you the whole night. So you Akrova, you can also make a roll. Oh, you also gain 2. Good.
No, I don't. You said 1 roll. I don't. I didn't even come close to hitting the 15. So we could, with all the penalties I have, being the quick.
Yeah. Still gain 5. So you are better in the morning as the morning light hits all of your faces, and our master smiles down at you.
I just kind of grab at my chest, burning with inflammation of the wound of that horrible iron thing. Just when you treated my wound, Apitax, it was as if you had treated something that was. It was like I had some sort of a metal burn on me. So someone had taken a metal that had been smelted and just pressed it against my flesh. But
And you still have that scarring. I have no way to deal with that.
I'm just telling you what you know, it was a bit strange, you know. I'm sort of laying there grabbing at my chest, just looking up at my labored breathing under the tremendous pain. Is anyone about me? Am I by myself?
No, I'm nearby.
And
I think we're all around.
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I remember there was light. It was yellow light and darkness. I can't remember. Like I rub my head and I'm like, oh.
He awakes.
What happened?
I just look at the other two.
No one can tell me what has happened.
The battle was terrible. The ogress there, she cut you with a moon sickle-shaped object. It was iron. Yes, the iron pierced you. That is why you feel in such a way. I knew of your aversion to it, but I did not know that it would. You know, and I looked to that scar. I did not know it would burn you as if it was flame.
Sort of perk up like, It was iron, Kuro.
That's what I said. I told you over and over again that the iron had pierced him. I knew he would need special attention, and Apitax has seen to that. The fact that you still draw breath shows that he has understood your injuries and set them to right, at least somewhat. We are doing all right for ourselves. And you know, I looked to Arkova and myself. We sustained minor injuries, but the battle is ours. Yes, we won. And I think back to the charnel house that was the end of the battle after Arkova had satiated his rage.
Arkova staring into the still burning embers of the fire now. Glances over at you, Eros. Yes, there was much bloodshed to be had against foes who mistaken us as enemy. The last mistake they'll make, for they all now are dead.
I look at you with much respect in my eyes. But I feel almost a tinge of guilt. She was a fool, deserving perhaps of a horrid beating, but the death, I do not know. She thought we were magi, and why she would think that I don't know, but that is not the case. And it is unfortunate she and other people who are themselves decent enough members of this community had to die for her arrogance.
Yes, I do not take any pleasure in lowering the population of Flame Dance, a place unique amongst all the world, but Apotax has assured us that the monsters that live in this place have, well, disposed of the bodies, and perhaps even disposed of the survivors, for 2 of them ran away. We have not seen any evidence of them. The flames supposedly kept the monsters at bay.
Much guilt indeed. And the bodies, yes, the monsters would have taken care of it. Even so, they were in the wrong. We were the ones pursuing those who had dealt harm unto this town, that brought upon it tragedy and death, and they yet seek us out as some sort of... kind of looks down at the ground a bit and sees his bloodied hands. Monsters.
It was the act of a few arrogant fools. To think they would attack you. Eros. But I could see why they may think this, that you all shine is only from the spirits, the elements.
Yes, perhaps next time I will need to be more ruthless. I attempted to take pity upon her wretched brain and those of her companions, not wishing to sink my fangs into the jugulars. I rub my head, judging by the burning and throbbing I feel. It would seem that perhaps I made a mistake in showing mercy. Still, I feel such a kinship to this place called Flame Dance. I do not wish these people to die. There's enough Vega fail that does, without me adding to the number. Oh, my head.
I sort of look down at you, and I give you like a weird look, Eros, kind of like, I kind of tilt my head. This odd registration of what you just said.
Arkova will kind of grip the ground a little bit as he looks into the fire, his face into a slight scowl. She refused to attack me when I beset upon her after she had failed you, Eros. She still tried to attack Kuro, and she met her fate. Slammed down to the ground, and then finally her life ended.
Yes, many have paid the price for the companies to fall and crash to the ground. Even I have soared from high heights upon face them all.
You are in weak condition, Eros. And I look at the other 2. We will have to bring him safely to the wagon, to our camp, but we cannot simply drag or carry him. He needs something stable to be held in. Kuro,
Hmm.
do you know how to, I just look around, fashion something? I know my people, they make wonders out of the wood.
Uh, yes, wonders are a bit outside my wheelhouse, but I suppose I could gather up some of the thicker sticks, put them side by side, lash something together in between, and
Yes.
we could carry him. And, you know, I'm just listing it like I've seen someone on a litter, I've seen someone on a stretcher, but like I've never made one. You know, so I'm just sort of yeah,
And I
we
like
do
agree
this.
with you now and then, like, yes, yes, that we'll need something to safely move the body. We will pass through. I wish to pass through the site to which they attacked you to see, confirm or to not. Who knows? But yes, Kuro, go, go look. Arkova, system.
And he nods. He gets up. He grabs his mandolin, slings it over his back, and begins to assist in gathering materials.
And as the two leave, I look at you, Eros, and I'm sort of by you, and there's like a bit of a quiet that rushes in. I just sort of look down at you. There's just this sort of odd look. I just sort of look at you, and then I move away from you, and I go to the ashes of the campfire, and you see me just putting out the fires and whatnot,
The
just
camera sort
busying
of
myself.
camera sort of pans back to me. So I lay there without moving. My eyes move and follow you.
Um, yes, it would be outdoorsman for making that stretcher, as we are. Yeah, it's just if it's how that it is. It's really. I would guess with your outdoorsman that you can make something. Like, it's not comfortable at all, arrows, but it's your back's definitely somewhat straight as
All right.
you move. It's okay, but I'm not sure who would carry him. I guess it would be between Crover and Avisax. I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
Clovis.
carrying it, but I do like gesture, like watch that. Do not, do lift that up, lift that up. Yeah.
Arkova
Yes,
just
but
kind of.
if I carry it, then I'm distracted from keeping my eyes and ears upon the road for ne'er-do-wells, highwaymen, vagabonds, footpads, cutthroats.
Yes,
I
yes,
could go
yes.
Oh,
on.
Lift that up.
I'll carry the whole.
No,
You
no,
pay
no,
attention,
no, no, no. Both sides.
and he'll get onto the sides of it and like almost like a forklift, put his hands underneath of it and just lift up, and just keep
Yeah.
it stable like that.
And now look at that. Arkova is the mountain that does not fall, and I will keep an eye out for any of the survivors from last night's scuffle. See,
Very.
Eros, his eyes are closed and his ears are dulled with him in such a state. He cannot spy out the nasty ones in the woods.
Speak freely, Arkova, if you find your arms tiring. To let him fall at that distance would cause farther injury, perhaps permanent paralyzation.
I
Oh,
understand. Do not worry. My arms still burn with the tinge of fire within. I will not grow tired. I would sooner die than let such flames burn out, for I still have much to do. And he kind of turns his head backwards into the direction that they were originally heading in, and just in the back of his mind, it seethes like burning embers, knowing that they couldn't get there. It had to be thwarted once more. Damn those people! Had they not have interfered.
and you see you moving back towards the side, and as you like moving, you can see people. Everyone's here, but as you look at them, you look at close, you can see that all the like skin from their fingers and hands has been gnawed off. Some of them are missing eyes. As you depends on they're facing forward or backward. Their nose is too being been removed by something.
I just look at that like,
You can see here. I'm still lying there, and
like I
she's
exhale.
not wearing the mask anymore. She had on her forehead. It's gone.
Like I exhale a bit, like just like in response to seeing that, like there's only thinking, oh, like smaller animals must have gotten to them, birds or something. But that's just my response. Just as we're passing by, I look.
You move on. You're not that far from the just
Our camp.
yeah, your camp just like an hour or two, maybe 3 hours. As you get there, you can see the Otterling is just looking, just it's a bit distraught of being like left alone, but there's like water, and there's like it's not
Yeah, like I left food out. It's by water. It just chills.
yeah, but it's still like you can see that it have been like walking around with the I don't know if you
I
hold it
I
to a tree or
unhooked it from the wagon, but there was like on a tree. I just rubbed it to a tree and enough slack so to move around a bit, to get to the water at least.
you see like looking up at you and like
there. Place the body on the cart.
And Arkova walks over and then gently like lowers Eros Adonis onto the cart.
Oh, good. We are not that far from Flame Dance, but I feel we may rest here. See how well your wounds recover, Eros. But here, I believe we are safer in the coming days.
Just say let's grab the wound over my belly.
Arkova will head to the stream, like grab some water and splash it up onto the wounds that have been burned into him and kind of wipe off a little bit of the soot. Again, as the soot kind of gets washed away and a little bit of that dirt, those black ink markings, those tattoos still remain upon his flesh, almost unscathed, as it were. As he walks on back, his face still in a little bit of a scowl, hasn't plucked a tune at all from his mandolin, as his mind still dwells upon those past thoughts and aggressions.
It is a shame that some are so fanatic, so foolish, as to point the finger at any other, no matter what form they take, direct their hatred, their prejudices on. Many of the people who hold faith too close to them in Flame Dance, I see this in their eyes. They misunderstand many things, and that seems to only breed a hateful mind. I am sorrowful for what you three had gone through, but know that my people have been wrongfully attacked in the same manner for time uncounting. This, though I have not felt blade me, seeing it, I feel your pain. I am reminded of my people. You will recover, Eros.
I appreciate your optimism, Dex.
Optimism? No. I am a great barber. I am very skilled. This will happen.
Well, very well then.
But as we are here, I see farmlands are close. Many of the foolish work those fields. They don't understand much. If they come again, we all have to move. You'll see them from afar. You'll see their lights again. Kuro. The people that attacked you, they look to be Satyr and Farum.
Yes, there were Satyr and humans and a Farum, and they were led by an ogress. She wore a strange mask as if carved from a pumpkin, and it was placed upon her head. I do not know the symbology of this. I know that there are several enforcers, and they hate the Magi, but to name their entire number is impossible for me. Sad to say.
I just nod like as if I know something, but I don't. I just nod. It is a dangerous faith.
They were worshippers of a goddess, perhaps, of, what is the word? It is not relevant to me as I do not eat plants. But when the plants come right to pick, that is the one they worship. We dealt with her before.
Yes.
Cannot say
you are
more.
correct.
What? They worship a goddess of the harvest. I've seen so many of these festivals of flame dance, but to tell you the truth, I did not imbibe upon the religious aspects of it. No, I simply viewed them as celebrations, a time for merriment, and a time for me to earn coinage as I put on fantastic plays and spectacles. I had no idea that this goddess of a harvest harbored hatred for the Magi. Although I have seen the orcs. They consider the harvest ones. They consider them offensive, as if they had stolen something from the orc. Perhaps this is why I saw the sour faces of the orcs turn even sour when they would see these festivals. I thought it was simply the noise and the smell from the satyrs.
Quirrell, did you not notice that we had met that same ogress before? Did you not place her face? She was a priestess of some kind, and she kept babbling to me about her. I believe the nymph, which she safeguarded, I believe, was killed somehow, perhaps in the time when the locust came, perhaps another accidental casualty.
Yes. There was the nymph that they refused to show us, and she had lost her voice in some way. I suppose that they needed their faith had faltered, and their deity, their nymph worship, had they needed a scapegoat, as it were, and it seems in this situation we were the goats, which is most foul to my mind.
Yes, my fox friend, we were the goats, I suppose.
Blech.
Although she called me a fox.
She has made an error.
strange for her to be doling out compliments and then attacking you with iron.
I do not believe it was a compliment from her cavernous mouth.
And I see how it could be otherwise, but just trying to lull you into some sort of false sense of security.
Yes, I do believe it. I do believe it was a false sense of security.
We will stay here until I see your wounds, until you are able to walk on your own feet, Eros.
As you say,
Not move from this spot.
You're becoming quite the barber.
Until then, it appears that our hunt is going to be forestalled. He looks back into the woods, seething a bit more. A little grumble from his visage can be heard.
Perhaps. I just very ominously say as I just turn away and I go to the car and I start getting out just things.
And we, skip ahead to the next day, as you can give me a barber roll as you're working. I guess Yukiro and Akrova are gathering in this edge of the forest, gathering food. There's lots of salamanders and oh, wow, that's very good. You regain 5 health gauge, Ender. Is it 5? I believe it is.
Excellent. Do you want me to make my own roll as well?
Yeah. And you have, remember, you have +1 for his boost. And he has. Yeah, he has.
I have a +1 bonus, you said?
You have a 4+ bonus from every boost he makes to your recovery roll. Yeah.
7, 4, +4. So it's 10, and then there's another 2. Alright, so I'm up to 12, so I'm in good shape.
And then you, Akrova, if you are still hurt, you can also make a conditioning roll as time is, of course, going by for you as well. But, yeah, you all wake up to, well, the sound of people milling about in the town. Some few miles away, you can hear them hammering. They must begin some sort of construction. You can hear iron against stone, and iron against iron. Oh, well, I guess it's soliloquy time for Eros, as he.
Yeah. As I stand up, stretching, looking out at that sun that was so baleful to so many of my kind. Well, it seems you and I have one more day before darkness devours us all. It's good. It's good to be light and darkness. It's good to know both things and both paths. Special wisdom is gained. A special wisdom is gained from defeat, a humbling, crushing, humiliating defeat of simple farmer, of ogreish monstrosity, to defeat me. Blasphemy. But so is the way of the world. Even the strongest will be brought low and will be made humble. Well, that is fine, but a new day is here, and with day is life, with life is opportunity, with opportunity comes yet another step to go further, to go forward, to become what I am in the image engraven in my mind, painted with flame, hollow and whispered. I shall do as I was born to do. I shall be the dancer of flame. I shall pick myself up each and every time I am knocked down, that I am brought low, as if existence itself is seeking to teach me a lesson. Yes, clearly it is. I must gain humility, and then I will be ready to dance the flame, to give them what they need, what they want, what they have called upon me to do. I will be ready soon, and if I fall again, I will stand back up.
Akrova!
Ah, yes. Zarkova walks along with his companions towards back to Flame Dance. The destruction that has been wreathed and sown upon the soil, but it was against foes not of his own. Fools they were, as Apotax says. They come strolling in, accusing us, accusing them of being magi. I remember Kiro talking about such things. He himself delves into this. I know not of these things. There's the land of mysticism and magics. I don't delve into it. No. I care not for either side. I simply wish to play. But before I can even enjoy the music anymore, I must know that my soul is satiated with the fury within. And that lies out there in those woods, where those foolish Duxet have laid slain to my father's corpse. They're out there. I will find them, and I will bring with it the fury that is to be had. And if farmers who wish to accuse my companions and I of such foolishness wish to stand in our way, then I too begrudgingly so will stand against them, and we've already seen the result. I don't wish to kill other ogres. There's so few of us, and yet she stood in our way. She even refused to hit when I took her down. I cannot abide my friends to be slain. They've helped me. They've helped me this far. Even if they didn't know it, they helped me. I must remain loyal to that. There are very few things in this world that we have to rely on. This world is cold. It's only at the edge of a fire, surrounded by friends, that we may find warmth and comfort. I don't wish to be left out in the cold, alone. Left in my own head, with nothing but my rage. No, no, no. No. I'll do what I can to fight. If I have to slay each and every one of them, then so be it. There will be a river of blood before me! And so will stand. Regrets in tow. I will only die when my rage has been satiated. And then I can play my last song. And the camera flashes back as he's walking along, looking at his companions in their injured states, and thinking back to the carnage that has been had, knowing deep down inside that he has consumed the heart of that ogress. At least a part of her will live on within him, and his spirit strengthened and resolve. Clenches his fist, looks back into that forest once more, imagining the carnage that will take place by his hands. The only thing comforting at this time.
Apitax.
Mage hunters. Foolish. Foolish fanatics who follow a god. A god that has taken to see these who I thought to be tools, to be to be annoyances. To see them hurt and these blithering fools' ideology of what is. They do not know. They hold a nymph in their prison. A nymph that holds so much power over these people. I see their wounds. I see their fears and worries. They try to hide it. They try to remain standing, walk forward, but I can see their wounds, their weakness, their inabilities. I wonder if they understand, if they comprehend their own limitations. I wonder if their mind is vast enough to understand such complicated ideas. There is some insight. Kuro is so kept up in his own wrappings, I do suppose. Eros, he is prideful. It reminds me of myself at times, though I think it odd. A thing so different than I, a thing surely spun from those damned gods. I'll never forget what you had told us that one night. Phoenix, the one slayed by the king. Phoenix, the one who has birthed you. In some strange way, your wisdom is that you forsake her. You know that she is wrong. Those bodies, those forest watch, they ran into something in this forest. I know, I remember. I've read those tomes. I understand those damned necromancers that think they beyond the laws of magic, to think that they could subvert, to think they could bend that which is unbreakable, undying. They make foul contaminated that fester, spread a horrendous disease surely by Ahriman's make. Was that in this forest, in this quiet forest? Is it a home for those twisted souls, bound only by the flesh they walk in? Perhaps, perhaps I should not have shared that bit of information with the others. I see I was wrong. I will never admit that, but yes, no, I, I was not wrong. I believe those mockings were an animal. Something changed. Perhaps it is not what I thought it was, but another shape, another sick and contaminated, another thing created surely by the gods. They nip at the his fingers and nose and take the eyes out. I will have to note on this. Is this another breed of contaminated? What assailed those forest watch?
Q.
Those damn magi hunters pursuing us across the lands. I had thought here in Flame Dance was one of the last places for magi to practice openly. I've heard to the east there are more orcish lands, more orcs, and therefore more magi. And they're not persecuted. They are free. There are no enforcers in the east, they say. But here, I dig in my heels and I say no more. No, I will not be chased from this land. I was brought to Flame Dance by the call of the Fae. The dream itself has brought me here. My destiny, my legend, here's where it will take me, here's where it will grow. No, I will not tuck tail and run. I will dig in my heels, and here I'll make my stand. Yes. If those witch hunters think they're bringing the light to Flame Dance, they'll be sorely mistaken. We have light of our own. We made our own flame and we dance in it. We don't need their sun. We don't need their golden disk in the sky, that corpse of a thing that they worship. It hears not their prayers. We know a thing more powerful and more full of life than anything. We have life here in Flame Dance. We have joy. And yes, we have our trials and tribulations, but we live free. We're not under the boot heel of any sort of ecclesiastic, any sort of empire that makes us bow and scrape. No, in Flame Dance. In Flame Dance, you can be your own person. You can dance to your own tune. This is why the Fae come here. This is why I was called. It is here, and only here, you can truly be yourself. The Kitsune, us wandering people, will no longer be scattered to the four winds. No. We'll stay here at Flame Dance. Find a new home. Yes. I've heard there are communities of Kitsune out in the desert, but that is a harsh and brutal land. Here, we have wine, song, beautiful trees. Yes. This is my home, and no one will be forcing me out. No witch hunters. No false light. They cling so tightly to the light, they're going to snuff that candle out in their own hands. The light. You know, the sun only shines on occasion. You look up at the sky, maybe there's clouds in the air, you can't even see the sun. And when the sun does shine, what does it feel like? It burns you. Burns your eyes, your skin, bleaches your white hair even whiter. No. The sun only shines on occasion, and when it does, it burns. And I embrace the darkness, because it's always there. And as I say these words, seemingly unconsciously, they are in a Jiren, of all things.
Super cool. Thank you for the solo piece, and thank you for watching. And goodbye. Bye within the Ring of Fire, because it's awesome. And
Bye twice.
yeah.